Now on 4 News Now at 6, new details on the threats made against East Valley High School students, why the judge is taking this case so seriously.
April showers return tomorrow evening for a soggy Easter weekend. I'll help you plan around the rain in your First Alert forecast.
And new tech out of Pullman to help prevent wildfires. We'll show you how it works and how it will help save lives. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
Breaking news out of Boise, Governor Brad Little has vetoed the Children's School and Library Protection Act. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron Luna.
I'm Kirsten O'Connor. This was the bill that would allow parents to sue libraries and school districts for making, quote, harmful materials available to children. Those materials included nudity, sexual conduct, and anything related to the LGBTQ community. The governor vetoed the bill on the ground that the bill is too vague, saying it will have unintended consequences for Idaho libraries and schools. The governor also saying he supports keeping inappropriate materials out of the hands of minors, saying in part, quote, I am also concerned that harmful content can be much more easily accessible to youth on their phones and the internet, not at their libraries, end quote. The bill could still become law if the state legislature votes to override the governor's veto. And for more information about the bill, including the governor's full statement, look for this story right now on KXLY.com.
Let's take a live look over at beautiful Spokane area. I think we're looking to Mount Spokane, and it's kind of hard to see. Chris says yes.
Yes.
I'm going to go with yes. We have some rain making its way into our area, though. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker.
Yes, Mount Spokane, where they are going to wrap up the season this weekend, even though they've got all that snow. But that rain snow level is starting to increase. Right now on our satellite and radar, we have just a few isolated sprinkles over the panhandle of Idaho, but look to the west. Our next weather maker is approaching the coast, and we do have some rain on the way, starting in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area a little more than 24 hours from now, but it will be crossing the Cascades tomorrow earlier in the day. Here's a closer view on our satellite and radar. We are clearing out across the region this evening, and that is going to really allow our temperatures to drop. We're going to be down below freezing and below average to start the day tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to see any sunshine. We're going to clear out this evening nicely, dropping into the 30s as early as 9 o'clock. We'll be 34 degrees by 11, but then the clouds will start moving back in for a gray day on Thursday. I'll be back to time that precipitation and tell you about at least half of a wet weekend. There'll be some breaks. I'll help you plan in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Today, one of 3 students accused of threatening LGBTQ+ students at East Valley High School last week made an appearance in court. That student just turned 18 and will be charged as an adult.
The 2 other suspects are minors. All 3 of them are being charged with threats to bomb and injure property. Our Rania Kaur is in studio tonight, where we heard from that suspect's father. Rania.
Mac Wilson is one of 3 students accused of threatening to shoot the LGBTQIA students of East Valley High School in a group chat on Snapchat. According to court documents, Wilson made, quote, notable comments in that group chat. Wilson just turned 18, and his father in court pleaded with the court commissioner, saying his son is just a kid at heart. While his father agreed the comments made in the group chat were uncalled for, he just wanted his son back. However, neither prosecution nor court Commissioner Jeremy Schmidt made light of how serious those threats were.
It doesn't matter what beliefs are when we cross over to actively threatening to cause a mass school shooting of an event at a school. It is truly one of the more serious scenarios we see.
Wilson's bond is set at $100,000, as was requested by the prosecution due to the seriousness of the allegations and because the crime would be a violent offense. Tonight on Nightside, what was said in the group chat according to court documents and the evidence that was found at the homes of the 3 suspects. In studio, Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Rania, thank you. Idaho Governor Brad Little signed a bill criminalizing gender-affirming medical care for transgender youth. This means starting next year, it will be a felony to provide hormones puberty blockers or other types of gender-affirming care to people under the age of 18. Critics have warned it will likely increase suicide rates among teens, but supporters of the bill said it was necessary to protect children from medical or surgical treatments for gender dysphoria. Still, supporters of the ban have acknowledged that there has been no indication that gender-affirming surgeries are being performed on transgender youth in Idaho. Governor Little releasing a statement saying, "In signing this bill, I recognize our society plays a role in protecting minors from surgeries or treatments that can irreversibly damage their healthy bodies. However, as policymakers, we should take great caution whenever we consider allowing the government to interfere with loving parents and their decisions about what is best for their children." Last night, we showed you some of the drug-related issues Spokane police officers are trying to address in downtown, but they see plenty of mental illness-related issues as well.
Officers told us it's a revolving door as people suffering from mental illnesses move in and out of treatment centers. Our crew encountered this man in an alley behind Shalom Ministries. SPD is familiar with him. They know he's schizophrenic and alcoholic and is court-ordered to stay at a treatment facility. But that facility says it can no longer take care of him, so he's back on the streets. Officer Austin Neal says this happens far too often.
He's not an immediate threat to himself or others. There's not much legally we can do if the place does not want to take him back. Then we can't take him back there. So essentially this person gets put back on the street.
So then he's just on the street until he does something wrong, and then the next option is just jail, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and that's our frustration. Obviously, as somebody who's suffering from a mental illness, we do not want to be putting them in jail. That's not what we want.
Officer Neal says it only adds to what police have to deal with downtown. If you missed Derek Dice's special report on how police are addressing the drug-related issues, you can find this story on KXLY.com. You may want to leave early today if you're heading towards Highway 95 in Coeur d'Alene. One of the busiest areas is under construction, expected to cause heavier traffic.
Yeah, starting today, crews are busy getting ready to make the highway wider. It's a $3 million project. It'll be happening near Lincoln Way and Walnut Avenue for the next 4 months. Our Peter Choi explains the construction plan to keep drivers safe and the detours you need to know.
Well, take a look at this behind me. So drivers are using one lane in each direction right now. And one business near this construction site tells me driving through that intersection of Lincoln Way and Walnut Avenue has been confusing and unsafe. And they say they're excited to see improvements for a safer road.
It's going to be challenging, but in the end, I think it'll be worth it.
Commuting to work every day, Krista Brent says the intersection of Highway 95 on Walnut Avenue has been a safety concern.
Because you have traffic coming this way, you have both sides here, plus you're sitting waiting, and this side doesn't stop.
While we are seeing more traffic generally in North Idaho, this project was also really driven by the safety aspect.
To improve traffic flow and safety, crews will remove the concrete median in the center of the intersection and add more lanes to widen the highway.
So right now, Highway 95 is one lane in each direction for the most part through that curve. And it's surrounded by other sections that have 2 lanes in each direction. So we're going to get rid of that bottleneck and make it 2 lanes in each direction and provide some turn lanes, also adjust some access points.
During the construction, drivers will not be able to access the highway from Lincoln Way or Walnut Avenue. Instead, detour routes will be from Government Way to Ironwood Drive to get back onto Highway 95. She says the construction will last 4 months and it's expected to be done by August this year.
It's getting warmer outside. We're still getting snow, but not as much snow, so that means that work zones are going to be popping up, and we need that extra time in your day so you can get where you need to go and everyone's safe on the road.
In Coeur d'Alene, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
More people in Washington are turning to guns to solve their road rage problems. The Washington State Patrol said road rage shootings are increasing at an alarming rate. According to WSP, there are 456 road rage shootings. That was in 2018. By 2020, that number jumped to 807. At the end of last year, there were more than 1,000 shootings. One trooper says the pandemic plays a major role in adding tensions to Washington roads, and some drivers need to adjust to get increased congestion and drive times.
They're not emotionally present, and they're not taking time to think about what the ramifications of their actions.
Well, still ahead, the battle for wake boats on the Spokane River. What changes the Kootenai County Commissioners are making ahead of boating season coming up.
And Spokane Indians Fan Fest is underway here at Avista Stadium. As you can see, a lot of fans lining up already to get the autographs and meet the new team. What you can expect if you make a trip to the ballpark tonight, coming up here on 4 News Now.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Save your green at Jennifer's.
Parenting can be hard under the best of circumstances. Vanessa Behan is on a mission to surround children with a safe, healthy community.
Any family can find themselves in need of a supportive place during a stressful time. We are here for them in that moment and beyond.
Numerica Credit Union is honored to partner with organizations like Vanessa Behan as they work to enhance lives, fulfill dreams, and build communities.
Check out more organizations that make our community stronger at numericacu.com.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see that crick in your neck? That ache in your heart? Will they see that funny little thing that wasn't there last year? The new bounce in your step? The way your retinal scan connects to your blood sugar? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. See life-size animatronic dinosaurs, walking dinos, baby dinos, and so much more. Starting April 7th in Spokane. Tickets are flying fast. Buy in advance at JurassicQuest.com.
Tomorrow, when Marlon Wayans is live on GMA, one thing is for sure.
I can't tell that joke. I can't tell that joke.
Anything can happen. Plus, amazing spring deals and steals, all at least 50% off.
Talk about a spring fling.
Tomorrow on GMA.
We're cranking up the RPMs for a 48-hour sales event at the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights, Coeur d'Alene, and Spokane on Division Street, where today and tomorrow we're going to sell 48 rigs in 48 hours by giving you big discounts and fantastic trade-in offers. Plus, $48 down is all you need. We're even delaying all payments for 48 days, so you can get that rig you've always wanted this week for less. Today and tomorrow for 48 hours at all Cal locations.
Next ET, we're with James Corden, secrets from his last Late Late shows ever.
My last guest is going to be huge pop star.
Plus, before Midge's final curtain call, ET's with the cast of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
There's definitely some surprises that no one's going to see coming.
Then the Guardians say goodbye, only we're on set.
Chris Pratt here. They've given me a camera and a list of rules, all of which I'm going to ignore.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Well, tonight is the night to get excited about Spokane Indians baseball. First pitch of the season is this Friday. And this year's team features a number of new faces.
Yeah, the Indians front office says it could be the most talented team in recent memory.
This is our year.
Sports director. This is actually our year. Julian Minnesone is live at Avista Stadium right now to tell us what fans can expect. It looks crowded out there.
Oh yeah, Aaron and Kirsten, there's a ton of fans already, and it could be their year for the Indians this year because, as you can see from the excitement, a lot of talent on this roster. As you can see right there, fans are getting their first look at the 2023 Indians. They're getting their autographs signed right now with the giveaway posters, and that talent that's sitting right there on that bench signing those autographs is going to be on display tonight here at FanFest. There's going to be a home run derby. Of course, players are here. You can meet them. There's prize giveaways. Not to mention the best part, it's all free. The event will run until 7:30 tonight right here at Avista Stadium. It's all ahead of the Indians season opener on Friday, and the players say Spokane already feels like home.
It's awesome to be here. I'm from Pennsylvania, Harrisburg to be exact, and this feels pretty similar. I like the feel. It kind of feels like an industrial city, kind of like Harrisburg is. It reminds me a lot of home. The mountains, the trees, the snow-capped mountains off in the distance. It's a really cool landscape, and I like it here, and everything I've seen so far is awesome.
And the Indians open the season Friday on the road against the Vancouver Canadians, and the Indians' home opener is on Tuesday, April 11th, here at Avista Stadium against the Eugene Emeralds. We're going to have the latest from FanFest coming up in our full sports cast at 6:30. What's going on here and what you can expect for the season ahead for the Spokane Indians. Live at Avista Stadium, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Oh, and everybody is bundled up at Avista Stadium. Here's our chance of precipitation over the next few days. Tomorrow it's coming late in the day, but into a soggy Friday, mostly dry on Saturday. Fingers crossed for egg hunts that stay dry. Sunday, that rain returns into Monday. I'll help you plan around the rain after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Furniture Doctors.
It's SUV month at Wendell Ford. Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, or the new Bronco. Some with 0% financing and up to $2,000 in retail trade assist. It's SUV month at Wendell at the Y on North Division.
Do you have a light that doesn't light, a switch that doesn't switch, or an outlet that doesn't work? We can fix that. Call Mainstream Electric Heating and Cooling.
Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Call 866-411-ZAP.
What's inside huckleberries? Gluten-free,
eco-friendly,
free-range,
plant-based, sugar-free,
hormone-free,
high-protein, dairy-free,
locally sourced,
nitrate-free, non-GMO,
grain-free,
low-carb,
carbon neutral,
and many more.
A carefully curated natural market for the health-minded, diet-conscious, earth-friendly, and everyone in between. Look for the Huckleberries Purple at your local neighborhood Rosars.
This is it. The RV sales event of the year is happening now at Click It RV in Spokane. During the I Want to Getaway sales event, get a trip to Vegas on us. Choose from the best brands, Coachman, Winnebago, Thor, and more. Payments just $175 per month. 0 down, 0 payments until June, and $4,000 over JD Power for your trade-in. Don't let these deals get away. 6 days only. March 23rd through the 28th. The I Want to Getaway event at Click It RV in Spokane. Hurry in today.
There's something unusual about doing business with Idaho Central Credit Union. It's not something you can put your finger on. It's not something you can copy and mass produce. It's just the Idaho way. And that's the way we partner with your business. Welcome to Business Unusual, where how you do business is how we do business. Idaho Central Credit Union. Your business is our purpose.
It's SUV month at Wendell Ford. Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, or the new Bronco. Some with 0% financing and up to $2,000 in retail trade assist. It's SUV month at Wendell at the Y on North Division.
Very chilly start to April. Today, no exception. 48 for a high. 54 is our average high, and we started the day off at only 27 degrees. Sunset almost 7:30 now, so there are signs of spring showing up, just not necessarily in our temperatures so far. 31 to start the day. Tomorrow with partly cloudy skies overnight. Then those clouds will arrive by tomorrow morning. Mostly cloudy conditions. A high of 55. Warmest day of April so far and back up around average. Here's a look at our forecast starting off at our current time. We had a very brief encounter with a ridge of high pressure, but we have a system approaching. That's going to bring some wet weather over the Cascades early tomorrow morning, and then we'll start to see some of that wet weather into central Washington. Once we get into the afternoon, then gets closer to the Spokane area by 1 a.m. Friday, finally seeing a little bit of those showers in North Idaho. Let's take a closer look on the timing on this wet weather. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow evening, and we're finally seeing some rain around Colville, Deer Park. Still mostly dry around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, although wouldn't rule out a sprinkle earlier in the late afternoon or early evening. Then that rain picks up overnight through Friday morning. As we get into Friday afternoon and our front comes through, there is the potential for mainly mountain snow showers, but also the potential for a little bit of thunderstorm activity. It is spring after all. Wouldn't rule out some graupel, a little bit of everything in this weather forecast. Tonight's lows will be down below freezing for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, where the clouds move in a little bit earlier. We're staying warmer in Ritzville and Grand Coulee, 38 in Moses Lake. Lake. High temperatures tomorrow up in the 50s, 55 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, even in the 60s in Lewiston. Tomorrow we'll be in the upper 50s in Ritzville. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Rain comes in late Thursday and into a wet Friday, 90% chance of rain. Saturday, a high of 57 degrees. Most of the day is going to be dry. In fact, we might even get some sunshine going in the afternoon. 60 degrees on Easter, despite the fact that we have a good chance of rain. Right now, it looks like the timing is going to be such that your Easter services may actually be dry with that rain coming in the afternoon, but we are fine-tuning that forecast, so check back and, of course, download the 4 News Now First Alert weather app for fresh forecasts. Cooler, wetter weather as we get into the middle of next week. We're back down in the 40s for highs Tuesday and Wednesday. There are some more signs of spring coming up in the next half hour. Wildlife Wednesday. Some friends are back in the neighborhood from down south. I'll tell you all about it again in the next half hour. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. That warm weather in the forecast will be feeling pretty good after a snowy start to the month of April.
We've seen so much snow this April. Now we're starting to talk about records in Spokane. New at 6, meteorologist Matt Gray explains why.
And yeah, we are talking about records for Spokane 2023. Now, the 10th snowiest April on record, and we are probably not done quite yet. Getting snow this time of the year actually easier than, well, you might think. Spring is a stormy time of year for most of the United States. All the added energy from all that extra spring daylight and lingering cold air of the winter combined to create some of the most powerful systems that the lower 48 will end up seeing all year. Now, on the front side of this, you've got powerful thunderstorms leading to severe winds, hail, and tornadoes across the south and the Midwest that we have seen now for the past couple of weeks. On the back side of these storms, however, the winds come out of the north, and that brings those last bursts of winter to end the season. In the northern plains, this, well, often leads to quite a bit of snow. In fact, April is actually the snowiest month of the year for some parts of Montana, the Dakotas, Wyoming, and Colorado. These places now, they're thousands of feet higher in elevation than we are in the inland Northwest, and well, they're not protected by the Rocky Mountains from some of that cold air either. So thankfully, that is not how things usually go around here. But that said, you line up some of these storms just to the south, just right, and our temperatures will end up staying fairly cold and cold enough for snow that will sneak back down into those lower elevations, just like it did earlier this week. Now, it does appear that we have a chance to get set up for that again, maybe in about a week to 10 days or so. So we might not be done adding to that snow total just yet.
Matt, thank you. The deadline to file your taxes quickly approaching, where you could turn for some last-minute help. Coming up. Plus,
when power lines like the ones behind me hit the ground, they can cause catastrophic wildfires. Well, Schweitzer has technology that can help cut the power to those instantly, before those fires can even start. I'll have that story coming up.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
And now a joke from Yolk's Fresh Market.
What do you call a fake noodle? An imposter.
We're cranking up the RPMs for a 48-hour sales event at the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights, Coeur d'Alene, and Spokane on Division Street, where today and tomorrow we're going to sell 48 rigs in 48 hours by giving you big discounts and fantastic trade-in offers. Plus, $48 down is all you need. We're even delaying all payments for 48 days, so you can get that rig you've always wanted this week for less. Today and tomorrow for 48 hours at all Cal locations.
When you're looking to upgrade the look and energy efficiency of your home, no one does a better job at a better price than McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows. For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime. At McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
Kerner Furniture has been a family-run and locally owned business for over 4 decades.
We have seen styles change and furniture technology advance.
But the one thing that has stayed constant is our amazing customers.
And that is why during our Customer Appreciation Sale, we invite you to come down and shop our high-quality furniture at sale prices.
Whether you're a longtime customer or new to the area, we want to help make your house a home during Kerner Furniture's Customer Appreciation Sale.
Going on now.
Kerner Furniture, nice store, low prices.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning partners with cities to gather the data they need to reduce homelessness. An interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world, that's the new thing. It isn't a tagline. It is Eastern Washington and you. Apply today at ewu.edu.
Here's to the Hoofersnoots, the Bar Hoppers, and the Cluckerfloofs. Here's to all the happy animals that make the fresh foods that make us happy. Many of them living right here on local farms.
4 News Now is brought to you by Foothills Mazda.
September 7, 2020, a fire ripped through the town of Malden, destroying nearly every home and everything in its path. 80% of Malden was destroyed. The Department of Natural Resources determined the fire started when a tree fell on a power line. In California, the state's second largest wildfire also started from a downed power line.
Schweitzer Engineering Laboratories in Pullman teamed up with San Diego Gas and Electric in California to develop a way to stop fires from starting after these power lines fall. Tonight at 6, our Bronte Sorotsky spoke with SEL's executive officer, the new fire mitigation plan, and how it will save homes and lives.
The second largest wildfire in California's history happened because of a downed power line. When power lines fall down, they remain energized until the utility company can shut them off. Well, Schweitzer engineers have figured out a way to turn that power off in just milliseconds.
What if we could detect it when it broke and then isolate that particular power line before it hit the ground?
Now engineers with SEL can detect any downed power lines and cut the power while they're still in the air.
We can detect a fault in about a millisecond, so a millionth of a second. There's no opportunity for a spark to happen because we've already isolated the power before it can touch the ground and start sparking and causing a wildfire.
It works like this. When a power line breaks, it makes what's known as a high independence ground fault. Those are hard to detect, which means these power lines can be on the ground for a while and create sparks that turn into wildfire. Schweitzer is able to detect real-time changes in voltage and identify any falling power line within milliseconds of a break. From there, engineers are able to de-energize the line before it hits the ground. And now that wildfires can happen almost year-round, this technology can help utility companies always be prepared.
What we like to be able to do is create dependable and reliable protection solutions that utilities can employ, whether it's fire season or not fire season.
Schweitzer already has technology to detect any potential fires once those power lines hit the ground, but this new technology will help stop them before they even start. Reporting in Pullman, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
There's a consumer alert if you drive a newer Volkswagen. 143,000 Atlas SUVs are recalled over an airbag issue. Some vehicles are experiencing a faulty sensor on the front passenger side that is deactivating the airbag. No one's been hurt, but VW is advising drivers not to let anyone ride shotgun or in the front passenger seat until the issue is fixed.
It has been 3 months since actor Jeremy Renner suffered life-threatening injuries after an accident involving his 14,000-pound snowplow. ABC News is learning he was trying to protect his nephew. The actor says he was glad he wasn't alone.
If I was there on my own, that would have been a horrible way to die. And surely I would have. Surely. But I wasn't alone. It was my nephew, Sweet Alex, and the rest of the cavalry came.
Renner suffered more than 30 broken bones along with a blunt chest trauma, not knowing if he would survive. In an ABC News special, the Avenger star sat down with Diane Sawyer to reflect on the accident and his road to recovery. You can watch it right here on ABC tomorrow at 10 o'clock.
One man who knows just how hard it is to recover from an accident like that is the owner of David's Pizza, Mark Starr. He had a similar accident just a few months ago.
I lost 26 pounds in the hospital.
My muscle mass just went to nothing from, being in a hospital bed for over 6 weeks. Nobody coddled me. Everybody was, nope, you're going to get through this, and we're going to help you.
Our Robin Nance sat down with Mark to talk about the accident and his long road to recovery. We'll have that story tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including what voting laws the Kootenai County Commissioners are changing and why more than a dozen chicken companies owe Washington's Attorney General millions of dollars.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Let's take a test drive of this rugged Nissan Frontier, redesigned inside and out. There's plenty of power so you can take it anywhere, thanks to an upgraded suspension, steering system, and powertrain. The cabin has improved too with a new seat design, larger storage compartments, and a big touchscreen that's smartphone compatible. If you weren't interested in a Nissan Frontier in the past, it's time to reevaluate. Test drive one at the new Coeur d'Alene Nissan.
With prices of natural gas and propane skyrocketing, your heating bill is getting out of control. But before you turn down the heat, give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. They have the latest in dual fuel technology to keep your family comfortable and utility bills low. And there's never been a better time to upgrade because now every furnace purchase comes with a free AC or heat pump. So call Bill's Heating today to get your free heat pump while supplies last.
BSU is just an incredible community partner. We feel very fortunate to have them on board as we try to help families move forward and be stable and successful.
It is so important for both our families and our staff to receive current financial education.
What Eric's doing with his classes is basically giving them the knowledge they're going to need to be financially self-reliant.
This is not a topic that's typically taught in schools, and yet it is the baseline of access to almost everything that we do.
In the market for an RV? Do not buy any RV before you shop Clickin' RV. Because Clickin' RV has just acquired over 300 2022 fifth wheels, travel trailers, toy haulers, and motorhomes. And every one is just $199 over invoice. And take advantage of 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and low interest financing. Plus guaranteed lowest price and lifetime warranty. So don't miss the Clickin' RV Do Not Buy sale. Going on now at all 5 locations, including right here in Spokane.
Trump's return to Mar-a-Lago. Next, Inside Edition. After his historic arraignment, after the circus, after all the drama, what reception will Trump get when he returns to Melania?
She always used to say to me, this is his problem. He can take care of it.
The arrest of the former president. New information. What happened inside the courthouse you didn't know. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
I'm working on my plans because I had a whole outdoor one for Easter as far as the eggs go, and it sounds like we're going to have some rain. We need to adjust the plans.
Yeah, you're going to be hunting for umbrellas and raincoats instead of eggs. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker to see if this rain is going to be that big of a deal.
Well, yes, at times over the weekend. Easter is always a big outdoorsy weekend, but around the inland northwest, we can have just about any kind of weather. And right now, it does look like Saturday will be the drier of the 2 Easter weekend days. Only a 20% chance of showers in Spokane. 60 for a high on Sunday with a good chance of rain, especially the second part of the day. As we get closer to Easter weekend, I will fine-tune the timing on that. But right now, I would front-load the weekend with your outdoor activities. Satellite and radar right now is actually clearing out to be a beautiful evening. We still have a little, well, about an hour until sunset, and we are seeing the last of a few isolated showers over the central panhandle come to an end. However, as we look to the west, we see the next system already approaching. That will begin spreading clouds over the region as early as the early morning hours, and then the rain on the way for tomorrow evening. Here are 4 things to know about your forecast. It is going to be a cloudy but mild Thursday with temperatures in the mid-50s. Showers coming in late into a rainy Friday and then a wet Easter Sunday. I'll be back with some Wildlife Wednesday photos in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Boating season is right around the corner. Excessive wakes have been a topic of debate in Kootenai County for years. Today, commissioners voted to change the excessive wake rules on the Spokane River.
The rules now match state law. There's a no wake zone rule within 100 feet of shoreline, dock, and piers. There's also a 150-foot no tow zone for boaters in the Spokane River. Vanessa Perez here in studio with concerns from homeowners around the river.
People who live on the Spokane River have major concerns over wake boats. Homeowners say they're faced with many safety and environmental concerns. Boating season is just months away. For homeowners like Susan Steiger, it's a recipe for some messy situations.
So they've washed 70-pound flower pots off the dock. They've washed out all of the pilings from underneath docks. They've washed small kids off docks into the water.
County Commissioner Lisa Duncan argues against wake boats causing damage.
Yet to hear of a study that shows the percentage of shoreline erosion caused by natural moving water, including high water events and ice and snow, versus the percentage of damage caused by boating.
Steiger says research shows a river needs to be at least 1,000 feet wide total for surf boats to operate safely.
Nowhere is the Spokane River wide enough for boats making those really large wakes. It takes about 500 feet on both sides of a surf boat for its wakes to diminish to the size of a regular sport boat's wake.
Another concern is traffic on the river. Commissioners couldn't agree on a no-tow rule during the busiest times on the weekends.
People don't always think of it in this manner, but when you put your dock out there, you're actually taking away use of the river from the people of the state of Idaho who own that.
But homeowners say they just want responsibility and protection.
It's pretty precious, and it's unfortunate that a very small minority, less than 10% of all the boaters on the waterway, demand that their rights trump everybody else's rights.
Commissioners also agreed that there should also be more signage added around the river. Live in studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Vanessa, thank you. Spokane police are investigating a deadly crash on Broadway in Alki last night. A car was speeding and lost control, collided head-on with a truck. One person in the speeding car was killed and 2 others were hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. The Major Crimes Traffic Unit is investigating.
New at 6:30, the Washington State Attorney General is working on a plan to distribute more than $30 million from a chicken price fixing case. This comes from a lawsuit that claimed 19 different chicken producers drove up prices starting in 2008, causing consumers to overpay by millions of dollars. Washington is the first state to hold chicken production companies accountable for their roles in price fixing. Alaska and New Mexico filed similar antitrust cases against national chicken producers. Around the Northwest, Asian business owners in Bellingham, Washington are on alert. Police warn them to be on the lookout for a gang of burglars targeting them at their homes. Bellingham police believe the burglars caught on surveillance video in Sammamish are responsible for several break-ins and similar burglaries all along the Interstate 5 corridor from north of Kent. And most of the targets are the private homes of Asian business owners. Police say they don't know how the burglars get from the businesses to the owners' homes.
If we knew that, we might have caught them by now. So that is part of the investigation that has to occur to determine what it is that they're doing and how they're going about doing it. My assumption is they do their research.
Police say the crimes are happening between 5 and 9 p.m. when many business owners are still at work.
Clock is ticking towards tax day. If you haven't finished or even started your federal return, you need to get a few extra days this year. You do get a few extra days, but if you're procrastinating because you find the process a little too daunting, there's still some places to turn for last-minute help. With April 15th falling on a Saturday and a District of Columbia holiday on Monday, April 17th, the deadline to file a federal tax return is April 18th this year. Tom O'Sabin, the National Association of Tax Professionals, says the current filing season is less complex than the pandemic years.
A lot of the things like the stimulus payments and the advanced child tax credits,
We don't have those this year. Those existed in prior years. 2022 looks a lot more like 2019.
The IRS says the most common errors on returns include missing or inaccurate Social Security numbers, misspelled names, and inaccurate figures. They say math errors can often be avoided by using tax preparation software. Some sites will offer specialized help on retirement and pension topics for taxpayers age 60 and above. Full eligibility details can be found at irs.gov.
Coming up in sports, we go live to Avista Stadium where the Spokane Indians are hosting their annual Fan Fest event. What baseball lovers in the Inland Northwest can expect this season.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
It's SUV month at Wendell Ford. Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, or the new Bronco. Some with 0% financing and up to $2,000 in retail trade assist. It's SUV month at Wendell at the Y on North Division.
You may be eligible for a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
No matter where you are in your financial journey, we're here to help you along the way. Open a free Ascend checking account and you can earn 3.50% APY on balances up to $15,000 with no minimum balance required. Bring your finances to new heights with our checking that pays you dividends. Get your account today at p1fcu.org/ascend. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Kylie and I are excited to show you the rugged good looks and adventurous spirit of this all-new Subaru Outback.
It has a roomy interior and almost 9 inches of ground clearance that make on- or off-road driving fun.
Plus, Subaru's legendary safety features like symmetrical all-wheel drive and EyeSight driver assist technology.
Visit parkersubaru.com or drop by the dealership to learn why Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's most trusted brand for 8 years running.
See the Subaru Outback and receive your no-problem customer service at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. See life-size animatronic dinosaurs, walking dinos, baby dinos, and so much more. Starting April 7th in Spokane. Tickets are flying fast. Buy in advance at JurassicQuest.com.
You didn't choose cat allergies. You didn't choose your hairline, hot flashes, the flu, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. You didn't choose your bad back, or this, or that. You didn't choose depression, melanoma, or lactose intolerance. But with Kaiser Permanente, you can choose your doctor who works with other best-in-class specialists to care for all that is you.
It's SUV month at Wendell Ford. Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, or the new Bronco. Some with 0% financing and up to $2,000 in retail trade assist. It's SUV month at Wendell at the Y on North Division.
And welcome back. Thanks for tuning into sports. I'm Julian Menenzone live here at Avista Stadium for Spokane Indians Fan Fest. Tonight, fans are getting their first look at the 2023 team. As you can see, the team has taken the field in front of some of the fans here in the stands. They're introducing themselves right now, so they're becoming acquainted with the Spokane baseball fans here in the Inland Northwest. And that's a lot of talent right there on that line. There's a lot to be excited about with this group. The team is headlined by former Gonzaga star pitcher Gabriel Hughes. Hughes was the 10th overall pick in last year's MLB draft. The Indians also have a number of guys from outside the area, which is kind of expected. The players have only been in Spokane for a few days now, but with the practices and tonight's Fan Fest, the guys say the Inland Northwest already feels like home.
I guess I played in places in the past where it didn't feel like home as much. It was a different landscape. But here, there's mountains in the distance, a lot of trees. It's a similar type of weather that I'm used to playing in, so it feels like home.
Being my second year, meeting new guys, the new draft guys in spring training. So we all have a good chemistry to start. So by the time we come here, we're kind of, like a big family, and it helps a lot.
And the Indians get things started on Friday in their season opener on the road against the Vancouver Canadians. Then the Indians return for their home opener on Tuesday, April 11th against the Eugene Emeralds right here at Avista Stadium. Over to Major League Baseball now. The Seattle Mariners lost to the Los Angeles Angels this afternoon by a score of 4-3. The Mariners took an early lead there in the first inning, but after that, Seattle could not hit against Angels star pitcher Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani went 6 innings, striking out 8 Mariners batters. Seattle had the winning run at the plate actually in the 9th inning, but the comeback attempt falls short. Seattle has now lost each of its first 2 series to start the season. The Mariners will now hit the road for a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians starting on Friday. Seattle lost 2 out of 3 to the Guardians to open the season last week. And, of course, FanFest going on right now. The team is getting introduced behind me. There's going to be a home run derby as well, prize giveaways. We saw in our earlier shows fans getting autographs from the players and meeting them for the first time. A lot of stuff to kick off first pitch of the season, which starts on Friday on the road. And like I mentioned, next Tuesday here at Avista Stadium. We'll have more tonight on Nightside. But for now, live at Avista Stadium, Julian Minensone for News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. People around the world recently celebrated a fairly new initiative called Neurodiversity Celebration Week. The goal of advocates is to challenge stereotypes and misconceptions about the differences in how our brains work.
More and more businesses, large and small, are being inspired to adopt neurodiversity in their workplaces. ABC's Faith Abube explains how it's impacting all workers.
26-year-old Tristan Ritland always knew from a young age that he was different.
Very all over the place. I had a lot of difficulty focusing for extended periods of time.
And soon enough, his doctors would give it a name.
I'm what they call doubly gifted, which is to say I have symptoms of both ADHD and autism.
The thought that those conditions could hold him back years later from his love of computers never crossed his mind. But in college, Tristan found networking, career fairs, and job interviews very stressful, hiring managers unsupportive.
I spent all this time developing all these skills, and then, I felt like, the industry didn't really want me.
You need a job. You maybe take a part-time job. You're maybe working in a position that is not commensurate with either your skills, your aptitude, or the degree that you worked so hard to achieve.
Judy Riley is the director of the University of Connecticut's Center for Neurodiversity and Employment Innovation. She says there are millions of neurodivergent Americans just like Tristan, highly skilled individuals whose brains work differently than most.
So what happens is expectations for how somebody might behave in an interview or express themselves in an application are meeting with failure and resistance. So they're getting screened right out.
A study published in the Journal of Post-Secondary Education and Disability found that about 30% of autistic young adults with post-high school education are unemployed. That's compared to the national unemployment rate of 3.6% for the general population.
So this seemed like an untapped talent pool, really.
Incredibly untapped and highly capable.
Stephen DiStefani oversees Wells Fargo's neurodiversity program. In just 3 years, DiStefani says they've hired more than 200 candidates, including Tristan. As part of the program, hiring managers were trained on how to interview neurodivergent candidates.
It isn't just a 1-hour interview, half-hour interview. You're with them for a full week. We're looking a little bit deeper into what the person as a person brings to the role versus the eye contact, the handshake.
Wells Fargo is just one of a growing number of companies adopting that model. DiStefani says it has proven beneficial, not just for workers like Tristan, but their entire workforce.
We've seen significant reduction in skills gaps. Employee satisfaction is up.
For Tristan, it's been a game changer.
I can use the skills that I have, right, in a way that's appreciated. I can be respected. I can have a career. I can live independently because I have the income for it.
Faith Abube, ABC News, Washington.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
At Holiday, we are perfecting the air we share. Daikin's mission aligns with Holiday in advancing innovation every step of the way.
Fixed right or it's free. Holiday heating, cooling, and electric.
Built for times like these. Clear thinking, expertise, and smart solutions have sustained us for more than 120 years. Washington Trust Bank has the strength and wisdom needed for times like these. We prepare for the unexpected, and we're just a phone call away. To find a personal banker or learn more about Washington Trust, visit watrust.com/financial partner. Washington Trust Bank, member FDIC.
It's time to spring into action and conquer the road ahead with Northwest Motorsport. Unleash your spring adventure at nwmsrocks.com/spring. We are Northwest Motorsport. We are trucks, and more trucks.
Breaking news, y'all. I'm here to present Educator of the Year.
The award goes to Gregory Eddy.
This is Gregory Eddy? Yeah, you with your fine silly ass.
Yeah! Look at us, two young guns killing awards season.
Go ahead and clap for me. Clap.
Does your current roof have moss growing on it? Is it worn out or tattered? Have you recently seen the heat and electric bills going up? Then it may be time for you to get a new roof from McVeigh Brothers. McVeigh Brothers is the only 5-star certified select shingle master contractor in the Inland Northwest. We also have great financing options to help you out, like no money down and up to 12 years low interest financing. So you can get everything you want now and pay for it later. At McVeigh Brothers, we're always working for you.
4 News Now and STCU are recognizing volunteers who make a difference in our community. Today we honor Mike Kohler.
Leading with integrity and respect, Mike's volunteer work ensures Atlas Assistance Dogs is set up for long-term success.
Every time you see a picture of somebody who just graduated sitting there with their dog, the smiles are just incredible.
Mike is a founder of Atlas Assistance Dogs, which specializes in the training of service dogs for those with disabilities. Thanks to STCU for helping make sure volunteers count.
The most important thing that I want to carry on, my dad has a strong belief in, it sounds so simple, but taking care of the customer. And so to stay humble and realize that we are lucky to have them, I think that's an important trait to have.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ritter's Garden and Gift.
Have a whole lot of birds returning in Wildlife Wednesday, a definite sign of spring. Let's start with this amazing photo from Mark Vogt, the first loon of spring. Such incredible birds and an amazing image. Thank you, Mark. Love this picture from Dora Z. Davis. She said she heard honking and splashing and all sorts of ruckus. I guess Canada geese are not very elegant as they land on the Spokane River. This image was captured just this week. Great shot, Dora. Action shot. And Allie Ray, Osprey are back. She said she was out looking for them, only saw 3, but she saw all kinds of other birds, which I will be posting on my Facebook page later today. And I am sure the Osprey photos are going to start coming in mass in the coming weeks. I will be featuring them every Wednesday here on Wildlife Wednesday. Here's a look at our temperature trend over the next 7 days. We've got a little above, a little below, a lot above, and then a lot below average temperatures over the next week. Sunday, our high of 60, our warmest day, actually looks like it is also going to be our wettest day with a good chance of rain, especially the second part of the day, and that is Easter Sunday. But there are showers just about every day in the forecast. But latest look at tomorrow, I think the rain is going to hold off until the evening. Here's our forecast radar starting off at our current time. We're going to clear off enough to have a cold start to the day tomorrow, below freezing. But then by 8 o'clock, the overcast conditions start moving in and the rain crossing the Cascades into Omak, Wenatchee, just making its way into Moses Lake. 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, this precipitation taking its time, making its way into eastern Washington and North Idaho. Still dry in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but the rains in Colville, Grand Coulee, and Moses Lake. Finally, by Friday morning, rain throughout the entire region, a fairly high snow level. And that's going to continue through most of the day on Friday. By Friday evening, just a few hit and miss showers, and wouldn't rule out an isolated thunderstorm. Here is your planning forecast. Wet weather on Friday, and then Saturday it looks like mostly we're going to be staying dry. A 20% chance of showers and a high of 57. We are up to 60 on Easter Sunday, but a good chance of rain, particularly the second part of the day, and that will extend into to a wet Monday, cooler weather Tuesday and Wednesday, but may start to see the precipitation tapering off. With those overnight lows getting back down around freezing, however, would not rule out some snow starting to mix back in with the rain sometime next week. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. A destructive storm system in Missouri spawned at least 10 tornadoes and killed 4 people.
CNN's Laura Aguirre gives us a look at some of the damage left behind and where the storm is heading next.
Bollinger County, Missouri, hit by a deadly storm in the early morning hours Wednesday. The number of fatalities could rise in the coming hours as state highway police there say search and rescue efforts continue. This savage storm system, threatening about 60 million Americans, is moving east after battering parts of Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, and Michigan.
Oh my God!
Kelowna, Illinois, still assessing major damage after being hit by at least one of 7 reported tornadoes to roar through that state Tuesday.
I mean, we're lucky. I don't know. I look at all this and I'm just like amazed. We're just hoping that it gets by us and we don't have no more damage, but that's what we're praying for now.
Oh, she is a beauty. Oh my God.
In neighboring Iowa, tornadoes like this one in Pleasantville Tuesday weren't the only continuing weather threat. Hail the size of baseballs or even larger reported here and in several cities across the Midwest. To the south, more hail and tornado watches in effect for parts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, including Little Rock, heavily damaged in last week's severe storms. The National Weather Service warns everyone in the affected central and southern regions to heed all severe weather advisories through Wednesday. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader. It goes like one margarita. Bluebird in my heart. Baby, you're playing hard to forget. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
What's inside Huckleberries? Gluten-free,
eco-friendly,
free-range,
plant-based, sugar-free,
hormone-free,
high-protein, dairy-free,
locally sourced,
nitrate-free, non-GMO,
grain-free,
low-carb,
carbon-neutral,
and many more.
A carefully curated natural market for the health-minded, diet-conscious, earth-friendly, and everyone in between. Look for the Huckleberries Purple at your local neighborhood Rosars.
Look at this baseball field and this one. How about this one? Which one is next for a 4 News Now Extreme Team Diamonds and Dreams makeover? How about yours? Go to KXLY.com and tell us why your field deserves a makeover. Diamonds and Dreams brought to you by your hometown Chevy dealers and Horizon Credit Union.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move.
Let's go! With everyone getting ready for summer and a new gym opening soon in Spokane, there's never been a better time to join.
For a limited time, get a free set of pallet forks when you purchase a new John Deere 3E Series compact utility tractor. From new landscaping projects to cleaning up winter yard debris, this versatile tractor and attachment combo will help you tackle all your outdoor spring projects. Stop by your local Pape Machinery Ag and Turf store today to take advantage of no payments for 90 days on all new 1 through 4 Series compact tractors. Pape keeps you moving.
R&R RV Center is your Van World Superstore. Solus, Travato, Echo, Revel, and more. Choose from front-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or 4x4. And bring your trade. R&R RV wants your boat, your Harley, your old RV. Van World at R&R RV Center in Liberty Lake and North Spokane. Or shop now at rnrrv.com. Eastern Washington's largest RV dealer.
From R&R RV, your RV superstore.
Jurassic Quest is back and bigger than ever. See life-size animatronic dinosaurs, walking dinos, baby dinos, and so much more. Starting April 7th in Spokane. Tickets are flying fast. Buy in advance at JurassicQuest.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Coming up tonight on Nightside, a bill increasing the penalty for hazing has passed in the Washington Senate, and the family of a WSU student who was killed by hazing was there in the gallery.
Plus, 3 East Valley High School students charged with felonies will tell you what was said in their group chat and the evidence that was found in their homes.
It's not going to be a bright sunny day on Thursday, but it is going to be warmer. High temperature out of the 40s and into the mid 50s, which is just about average. Again, the clouds, though, are going to be around most of the day, and the showers show up tomorrow evening.
And Chris, welcome back from the wonderful place of McCall, Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. Love it.
Download the 4 News Now app today. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.